Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Again, for anybody that is new, my name is Tim, and this is Freightmaster Resources, where we provide tips, tools, resources, and industry news to hopefully help you be more successful. Okay. I am battling some kind of something. It has been rainy here. I don't know. We've had such a mild winter this year, and it seems like I got sick more than more this winter and spring than I have, historically. But we're trying to power through everything. I got my coffee and we're geared up and ready to go. So, as the title of the video states, pretty much Mississippi is cracking down on predatory towing. That's targeting trucks. So Mississippi truckers can breathe a sigh of relief. Governor Tate Reeves signed a new law aimed at stopping predatory trucking companies that exploit heavy-duty vehicles. And we're going to break down some of those key points for you. Okay. The effective date is July 1st of this year, 2024. The focus on this is non-consensual towing and charges for commercial trucks. Okay. Those key measures include, from the advisory board, establishes a committee to set maximum towing rates, handle invoice disputes, and protect reputable towing companies. All right. Disciplinary, my goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied again today. Disciplinary actions creates a system to penalize towing companies for violations, including suspension or removal from approved lists. Towing regulations requires towing companies to document the condition of towed vehicles with photos before towing and explain the reasons for the tow. Okay. In regards to law enforcement, and I'm going to have a little sidebar on this section, prohibits offers from recommending towing companies for compensation or having financial ties to them. Okay. I don't know about where you live. I'm pretty sure it's standard across the U.S. But where I am, years ago, I had to have a vehicle towed. Police showed up. They were going to call a big towing company, the most prominent towing company in the county where I lived, actually across multiple counties. I said that I did not want to use them, that there was another towing company that I preferred. Essentially, they said, no, this is standard procedure. We call it in. It took me forever to track down my vehicle. They more or less took it to a completely different yard outside of the town, even though they had a yard there. When I got my vehicle back, there was items missing. Okay. I had a digital camera in there, all kinds of stuff. And it was all missing. And actually there was a few years later, one of my neighbors actually went to go work for this towing company. And, I ran around with him one weekend. And, he would say, oh, yeah, those wheels are coming off of that vehicle. This person got picked up for DUI. They're going to be in for, however long. And they figured they could just swap out tires, wheels, whatever parts that they wanted if it matched their vehicle, things like this. It was very, very, it was such a shady company. It was bad. And in my situation, I actually called the local police department, got them involved. Towing company, no, we don't want them involved. We'll just cut you a check. And I said, look, I want my stuff back, right? I did end up getting some of it back, but not all of it. And they did issue me a check. But like with the digital camera, I had pictures of my kids on there, things like this. That cannot be replaced, right? So yeah, I absolutely agree with the fact that there should be no financial ties between law enforcement and towing companies, or law enforcement and any other company where they benefit by recommending or using XYZ services, whatever. I think it's low down, it's immoral, it's again predatory. It's bad, right? Um, Moving on. Industry support. Both the Mississippi Trucking Association, or MTA, and the American Trucking Association, or ATA, right, applaud the law. They see it as a new way to protect the industry from unfair practices and excessive towing charges, right? Um, Another quick little sidebar, and I promise this is the last one. There was another person that I knew, a good friend of mine. He had his vehicle towed next town over from where mine had been towed. They did the same thing, took his vehicle to a different yard. He could not track it down. They would not admit to where his Buick was. They inevitably ended up, because he couldn't track down to pay the charges to get the vehicle back or anything, they ended up selling the vehicle, which I'm sure, and this again, they kind of bragged about, some of the guys that work there, they would buy the vehicle for like $100. It might be a $15,000 truck or car or whatever. They would get it for $100, saying that they sold it at auction, and then charge you the balance, right, for the tow, the storage fees, which could be months, right? It was bad. So he ended up losing his vehicle, fighting it, or, went through, I don't know. It was a big fiasco. Anyway, I digress. Last sidebar, I promise. Impact on Mississippi. Trucking is a crucial part of the state's economy, employing thousands and delivering goods to most communities. This law aims to streamline operations and prevent disruptions. Okay. Predatory truck towing practices. The legislation targets common tactics used by unscrupulous towing companies, including excessive towing rates, unnecessary extra fees, delays in releasing trucks or cargo, and unjustified vehicle seizures, right? This new law is similar to the one recently passed in Florida, yay, Florida, reflecting a national effort to combat predatory truck towing. The Mississippi law includes a sunset provision, meaning it will expire in 2029 unless renewed by the legislature. Let me know your thoughts, on this. Are you happy about this? Is this enough, right? Or does this new law do enough? Is this a drop in the bucket? Maybe you've been a victim of predatory trucking, whether it was in Mississippi or elsewhere. Should all states start to implement this thing? I kind of hope they do. I really truly do, and I don't. And again, my little sidebar. I know that truckers get hit with this, and it's very unfortunate. It's unfair. It costs them money, not just in the towing and the fees and things, but they're losing revenue, right? Like if their truck's down, they can't pick up loads, they can't make any money. It's just it's really bad, right? It's unfortunate, but unfortunately it's kind of the world we live in. But I think that more needs to be done. I do think that this is a good step in the right direction, and I hope that there's again more states that will follow suit. So that being said, guys, I'm going to shut this down. As always, I have my recommended tips, tools, resources in the description down below. Well, tools and resources anyway, right? Services that I use, that I recommend, and I hope that you look into those as well. they've been fantastic to me, and actually have been very beneficial to me to help me grow as a broker. So, but it's not just for brokers, it's for you carriers out there as well. Whether you're out there looking for direct customers or vetting brokers, things like this. It's kind of funny. I've talked to so many people the last 2 weeks, probably, or better. And it seems like it's getting more and more and more every day, of people, wanting to implement a better vetting process, whether you are an owner operator or a broker. And so, anything that you can do besides just looking on Safer, because Safer is not the end all to end all for combating fraud in our industry, right? We all know this, or we should know this, right? And if you're brand new and you don't know this, don't rely on the FMCSA as your end all, right? And if you're a broker, don't rely on your RMIS and Safer, or whatever vetting tool you're using, onboarding tool, whether it's DAT onboard, My Carrier Packets, any of those. It's not the end all, right? We've seen a tremendous amount of watchdog reports, carriers, these unscrupulous companies operating from overseas that have been double brokering and targeting, unsuspecting truckers, and then them eventually not getting paid. Broker ends up double paying, right? Especially if they offered quick pay to the originating, quote unquote carrier on the load. So be mindful, right? Don't get complacent is all I can say. If you have any questions about vetting, or any of the tools that I use, because I don't think I have that in the description down below, but if you want my what we do and how I go about it, then by all means you can email me, freightmasterresources@gmail.com. If you have any other industry news, any tips, tools, resources, anything like that you'd like me to share, you can remain anonymous if you'd like. Not a problem. I'll be more than happy to bring that up on a future show for you. And with that, I hope everybody's having a great day. And until next time, be kind to one another. Bye-bye now.